and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing something more interior inspired. This channel is quite fashion style based, but I really wanted to do something which was more focused on house interior and decoration, and also kind of talk you through when I go to car boot sales, because I thought that I've done a lot with charity shops and vintage shops, so I also love going to car boot sales, so I thought perhaps this would be a good video idea. So we've just had the bank holiday weekend here in the UK, and I went to one of the car boot sales near me twice over that weekend, so I thought it would be a good idea to show you the few little pieces which I picked up, and then also talk you through some of the pieces which over the years I've collected, and when I go to a car boot sale what it is that I look for. So I live here in Norwich, and normally the car boot sale which I pop along to is Arming Hall. It is a huge car boot sale, especially over the bank holiday weekend. It's a really big one and I love going to it. There's so many stalls. Predominantly I would say that it is quite children clothing toy based. A lot of the stalls are selling that kind of thing, but you just have to kind of have a mooch around, find the stalls which are kind of selling more furniture things, or perhaps homeware things, or clothing, or whatever it is that you're really looking for. I will also say over the weekend there was quite a few house clearances there which are amazing, but at the same time I find them quite sad. I'm not sure, but anyway, I was there over the Sunday and the Monday, as I said, and the pieces which I found were actually from these house clearances people. So okay, so let me talk you through the few little things which I found over the weekend. Now, I spotted these plates, and kitchenware and crockery is just a favourite thing of mine to pick up. I absolutely love finding pieces like this. These are only 50p each, so £1 for the pair of them. I love the design of them. I love that they're a bit of a kind of an unusual shape as well. They're both made in England, and I just think it's a really pretty kind of china blue and white pattern, and then it's just almost got like the gold gilding around the outside, but it's quite faded. But I quite like that style. I think that's quite nice. So I always like picking up things like this. I am a huge lover of mismatched crockery, and you know, I'm not kind of one for really uniform dining, if you like, where I'll buy an 8 set piece of everything so it's all the same colour. I really like matching everything in the kitchen, so I really like these, and I think they're quite a good size as well. I also love searching for books, and on the Monday I was lucky enough to spot a few of my favourites. So I am a massive fan of detective fiction, so I love Agatha Christie, I love Sherlock Holmes, I love all the sensationalist novels. I'm a really big reader of kind of older books. As an English literature graduate, I have so many books as well. I am just a bit of a hoarder when it comes to old books. I very rarely buy new books, and more often than not I'm kind of scouring old bookshops and car boot sales and charity shops for books which I think kind of, you know, will take my fancy and that I'll enjoy reading. So on the Monday I came across some more Agatha Christie books, which, as I said, is probably one of my favourite authors, if I'm honest. Like, her books just take me away to like a really nice place. I just love reading them so much. I'm not sure whether I have these ones between all my bookshelves and my mum's bookshelves. I'm sure there are probably these titles hidden amongst them somewhere, but I can't help it. And if they're kind of older style ones, especially hardback ones, for example, this is The Mirror Cracked from Side to Side. I know I have this because I've read it somewhere in either one of our houses, but I love the cover of it, and I love that it's a hardback book. Now, the other two items which I spotted over the weekend are actually a bit too big to kind of put in this frame, so I've done a few little cutaways to show you. The first one is this box. So wooden boxes, I always really like trying to see if I can find them at car boot sales, and I spotted this one alongside the other thing which I'm going to show you in a minute. They were by the same seller, so I found this one. I think I probably will paint it just because it's not a particularly old one. It doesn't have any nice old writing or anything like that on it, so I probably will paint this one. There are so many uses for these, so whenever I spot them I always try and pick them up if I can. And then probably my favourite purchase over the bank holiday weekend was this stool. Now, I just fell in love with this, and I actually managed to get this stool and the box which I've just shown you for £10. The gentleman was amazing and sold them both for just £10. I absolutely love the style of this stool. I'm not 100% sure on the colour of the fabric, but what I'm hoping to do is actually reupholster it. Now either I need to find somebody who can reupholster it for me, or I was thinking I'd actually really like to take a course in reupholstery. I always find it really interesting. I love fabrics and kind of redesigning things and finding something like this which is, you know, quite old and perhaps not to my taste, and then being able to restyle it. So I'm thinking I'd love to reupholster it in a really lovely dark blue navy velvet. I think that would look beautiful against the wooden legs. So that's what I'm thinking for this one. So often on a Sunday morning I love nothing more than going to a car boot sale. I do have to kind of drag myself out of bed because you do really have to get there quite early to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. But what I thought I'd do is talk you through the 4 categories. I've come prepared for this video because I felt like for my charity shop one before I was so unprepared and I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about, so I've got notes for this one. So I've got 4 categories of items which I'm always kind of on the lookout for car boots when I go to car boots, and I thought I would show you a few of the pieces which over the years I've collected in each of those categories. So I thought it might be a nice idea just to kind of show you some of my favourite pieces which I found over the years. So obviously I can't go to car boot sales and not really look for clothes. If I'm honest, it's probably not my favourite place to go. Sometimes you might find something incredible, but more often than not it's just, I'd much rather go for the furniture and the kitchen bits and the crockery. But I have actually got a few pieces which I've stumbled across over the years. Now the first item is this skirt. This was actually in my vintage summer lookbook if you saw that last week. I love this skirt. I picked it up probably a good 4 years ago now from a car boot sale. It was actually from Arminghall. But I just love the style of this. It's got a really 50s vibe to it. The lady who was selling it had actually made it herself. It fitted perfectly, and I just love it. Every summer I always bring it out, and I just think it's kind of like the epitome of a perfect summer skirt. Now I'm sure you've probably seen this top as well, but it is just this lovely pure silk little, it's kind of like a little vest top from M&S. Now I know this is very simple, it only cost me £1, but honestly the amount of times I've worn this is just ridiculous. Like the cost per wear of this top is just ridiculous now because I've just worn it so much. I love finding pieces like this because they're just timeless. You wear them so much, you can wear them with so many different things, and I think this probably started my love affair with, you know, searching for lingerie kind of camisoles and pretty silk pieces now when I go to charity shops. So I showed you a couple of the books which I found on the Monday when I went to the car boot sale. So books, as I said, is a really good thing to look for. That was number 2 on my list. That I just love finding and searching for books. I just think you can get some really good bargains there, and sometimes, you know, you can pick up books for 20, 30, 40p. You just have to kind of have a bit of a rummage through and find the books that you think will interest you and which will be a good read. Now number 3 on my little list is probably my favourite thing which I'm always on the lookout for, and probably the thing which over the years I've collected the most, so much so that I've had to do my own car boot sale to try and like limit my collection a little bit. But it's home interior, crockery, glassware, kitchen bits. Those are the things which I love searching for at car boot sales, because honestly you can just find some absolute gems which you can't really find in the shops these days, and if you do then they're just so expensive. So jugs is certainly something which I'm always on the lookout for. These 2 are particularly my favourite. They're very similar actually in style. They're just that really pretty off-white kind of china, then all the pretty flower detailing just around the top there and on this one, and this one's actually got a little bit of the gold gilding around it as well, but it started to wear off a bit, but I quite like that. I think it adds to it a little bit. The same with this one, it's got quite a few chips now around the bottom of it, but again that doesn't really bother me. I quite like that, and as I said, these were probably £1-ish or a couple of pounds each. You know, that you can get such good vases, I think, and they look so pretty dotted around the house with a lovely bunch of flowers in. Bowls is another thing that I always like to look for when I go to car boot sales. I've got a few here which I've found over the years which have got Hallie hair in. This one again is actually really similar to the vases which I've just shown you, with the really lovely floral detailing around the middle of it, and then this one is in the kind of almost quite classic blue and white china, but again very inexpensive. I just think they look really nice, like on the dinner table in the summer, like all mismatched, different salads, and I really like that. I know it's not to everyone's taste and some people do like to have all the same colour, all the same style, but no, I quite like it when it's all different and all mismatched. I also wanted to show you a few of the trays which I found as well. Now I've got quite a few kind of silver ones and copper, gold trays. Obviously not real silver, this one's not real silver. Actually though, I think one of them has got a silver hallmark on it. One of the ladies that I was buying, I think I got this one from her as well, was incredible and was selling everything for 20p. But anyway, I think that one's somewhere else in the house. But I really liked this one, and I wanted to show you this one because I absolutely love the rectangle style of it. I think it's quite different. I really like the edge round here as well, the detail of that. And it's just a really simple piece, but it's nice to have on the dressing table or have on your chest of drawers and just pop a few candles on, or I don't know, the TV remote or some flowers. I just think it's a nice thing to have, and as I said, I've got quite a collection now, so they're just all dotted around the house. Now this floral one is definitely one of my favourites. I really like this one. I think it's got quite a vintage edge to it just with the colour of it, but I just think it's lovely. I think this is really good for, I think we had this one in the kitchen sitting next to the kettle just with kind of tea and coffee and things like that sitting on it, but they're so useful. As I said, the shape again is quite a useful one because it's quite long, so you can actually fit quite a lot on it, but again probably £1, £2, but I really like this one. I have one quite similar which I found the other week as well, and I think they're a really nice piece to find. And then last but not least, I thought I would show you this one. This is actually quite a heavy one, but I love that it's got handles on it. I love that it looks, I did actually put a kind of, you know, brasso this when I first got it, but it's come up a bit better, but I quite like that it's all still quite rustic and a little bit chipped here and there and tarnished. I just think that adds to it. I think this only cost me £1, and this just sits in our living room, I think on the coffee table. I know it does. This just sits on our coffee table, a couple of bunches of flowers like with vases sitting on it, perhaps again like the TV remote, and I don't know, whenever Hallie brings in stones or sticks we just have to put them out of her reach, so everything can go on this, and I just think it looks really, really nice. So the last category is furniture. So I can't put any of this in this frame, so again I have done cutaways for what I want to talk about. So the first item is a pair of step ladders. Now I spotted these a few months ago. I think they only cost me £4 as well, but the problem is I'm not sure what colour I want to paint them. I think I definitely will paint them, but I don't know whether to go more for a kind of a crisp white or to kind of opt for a more greigey kind of duck egg blue tone. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. I think I'm thinking kind of leaning towards the latter, but these are great as a, I don't know, a towel rail or kind of a little bookshelf or just as a decorative piece. I just think these look really, really nice. Now, be warned that sometimes the price of these step ladders at car boot sales can be extortionate. I actually saw a pair on the Monday. I think they were priced at £25, £30, which isn't necessarily a lot of money, but I feel at a car boot sale it is quite a lot of money because a lot of people like myself are going there to find pieces which they themselves can upcycle. So I felt like £25 was quite a lot just for a simple pair of step ladders, but the ones I found were a bargain at £4, and I can't wait to actually paint them and put them inside the house. Now, like the wooden box I showed you, I also found another one again a few months ago, and I've actually painted this one. I like this one a lot just because I think it has actually been originally used as a kind of like a farmyard one or a fruit and veg box. It's got a little bit of writing on the side if you can see that, and I really didn't want to cover that up. I think that looks really nice and it's quite a rustic feel to it, so all I did was just paint the inside of it in this really lovely kind of pop of bluey kind of greeny colour. I think it looks really lovely. And last but not least, I wanted to show you this box as well. I absolutely love this, and I have actually spotted a few of these over the years. It's an old tea chest or tea box, and I think it's what they used to use to transport tea over, tea leaves, because you can see the tin foil inside, which I'm assuming used to keep them fresh. And this one has got a bit of writing on it, I believe. Sometimes it will say the brand of tea or the tea leaf that's inside. So I'm not sure what to do with this. The top's been cut out, so I might make that a bit of a neater edge and perhaps use it as a storage box, or it obviously needs a good clean out, but I don't think I want to paint it because I really like the history behind it with the writing, but I'm not sure. Let me know if any of you have got any ideas. Then normally I'm quite good and I have quite a lot of inspiration and use my imagination for these pieces, but this one I'm at a bit of a loss, so if you have any ideas then do leave them below for this one. So looking at my list, that is everything that I wanted to show you and talk about today. I really hope you've enjoyed this. As I said, I know that this is quite a fashion style channel, which is obviously my first love, but I do really enjoy interiors and rooting around for other little housey bits and trying to kind of incorporate them and kind of put them together as well. As I said, I really like mismatching bits, so I think I've got a really lovely collection here, and I just thought it would be nice to show you a few of the pieces which I've managed to rummage around and spot and that I've purchased over the years from car boot sales. So I hope that you feel inspired now to find your local car boot sale. Let me know how you get on if you do, and let me know some of your favourite pieces which you've managed to spot at car boot sales as well. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video today. Please do give it a like and subscribe if you're new. It really means the world to me, and I will see you all next week. I hope you have a lovely week. Take care. Bye.